What is up, everyone? How is everyone doing on this Monday morning? We got some exciting times ahead, and I can't wait to dive into the Bitcoin price action and just give you guys an overall crypto market update. Because, guys, in my opinion, I think this time it can actually be the time that we can leave this range of 230 days for good. Let me guys know if the audio and everything is good on your end. I think everything is fine. I already saw Gabriel in the chat saying, yo, before we were even live. So I'm pretty curious how you are in our server before we even went live. But let me share the link as well with our Discord members in case they are not aware of the fact that we are live, and then we're
Bro,
gonna
I'm
dive
feeling
deep.
pumpy, man.
Yeah, you're feeling pumpy? I'm
Yeah.
feeling pumpy as well.
How is the chat feeling? Are we
How is
feeling
the chat
pumpy?
feeling? How are you guys feeling?
And are you
We
guys
are.
portfolios ready for a pump?
Gabriel just built different, but for real, Gabriel, how were you in the chat? Was it like I don't know, I don't know. What is up, Total Mento Miro? What is up, K3 Peak, Can Ozer, Vision, Billy, Liam Strands, Stein? Just send everything. I like that mentality. Just send everything. I'm so ready. I don't know. It just let me click on YouTube. Gabriel is the quickest as always. What is up, Frecuencia? I don't know if I'll pronounce that right, but I'm excited, guys. I have so much to talk about. Like today, we were live during New York, but literally nothing happened during New York. And now some price action has developed, especially since the last time that we were live. And guys, we now have a fixed live stream schedule also for the public. So you can find that schedule in our Discord server. Link is in the description. But basically, we are going live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday for the public. Okay. So we're going to be pushing the content, especially with giving you guys into the public live updates, because everyone needs to know the information that we're providing here. Like, as much people need to know to make as much money in these markets as we can, especially during this crucial decisional point in time where it's like, are we going to deviate and reject? Where if we're going to reject, your altcoins will probably reject harder, or is this finally the time that we're going to break through? So we're going to get into all of the juicy stuff. What is up, 100xgk? Hope you're killing it with your meme coins, brother. You posted a lovely chart regarding with just a project, Wyckoff Insight. I think it was GigaSend. No,
Oh,
I think it was Giga
yeah, it
or like
was
something. Just an amazing call. Just an
some.
amazing
Yeah.
call in general. If I could have leveraged trade that call, that would have been so good. So good. But damn, Wyckoff Insight is already pulling up some purple boxes.
Is my
That's the new color.
my screen?
Whenever Wyckoff Insider pulls up new colors, you guys know it's gonna get juicy. Okay? You guys know it's gonna get juicy. So
Do they see
yes,
my screen
Mr.
right now?
PA, we are from Holland. We are Dutch.
Is my screen up right now?
Yeah, your screen is on right now. You took it from me. So I don't know if you want to start it off. If you want to
No, no,
start it
no.
off, you go ahead and start cooking. Otherwise, I can give
Uh, you
my views first.
you can start. You can start with
I
Bitcoin.
can start. Okay, okay, okay. So I'm gonna add myself to the stage, guys. Let's just dive straight into the price action. Okay. Now, before we go into the current price action, I want to circle back to what we were saying. And I believe it was Thursday because I came back from training and I hopped on the live. But what we were saying Thursday, let me fact check it on the chart right here. It was right around, I think, or even Tuesday, could have been Tuesday as well. But what I was saying basically is that right here, we came into that refined supply zone. Okay. We came into this refined supply zone on the 3 hour, and we were seeing a local signs of rejection regarding just a local distribution. Okay. Just a local distribution where you can see right here, we came in and on the lower time frame, we actually created a model 2, but we actually got a significant follow through, and it actually ended up also being a model 1 on the higher time frame. I wouldn't have particularly traded it as a model 1 distribution, but since price did hit its target, it is technically valid. And right here, we got this model 1 distribution. Now, as you can see, this was the range, and obviously the target of the model 1 distribution is right here, the range low. And from there, I gave you guys multiple scenarios, okay? What I was potentially thinking is that this initial range right here was going to turn into some sort of a PO3. I always like to refer back to what I was saying so you guys don't know that we just throw out random scenarios that fits the current price action. So I was talking about this potentially being a PO3 schematic, and I compared this to the bear market range lows, where we also had some familiar type of price action regarding just the manipulation before actually breaking out. So I was talking about this potential range manipulation expansion play, but we never got the confirmation in this manipulation area. Okay, we just never got the confirmation, and therefore this idea was also not valid. Okay, this was just an expectation, but we don't trade expectations, we trade confirmations. The main reason why I was eyeing this potential PO3 scenario was because the weekend or the breakout longers were already stopped out. So I'm gonna circle back real quick to that trend line break of structure right here, where people were literally simply waiting right here. They were simply waiting until this weekly candle closed right up there, and they longed literally the weekly open. Okay. They longed the next candle open, and they got stopped out and liquidated very fast on that Monday pivot point. So you can see right here, if I pull up the volume spikes, you can see right here that right, as you can see, look at the times, guys, right when your Monday opens right here, right when your Monday opens, you can see this massive spike in volume of people literally longing the weekly candle close. And then the moment price comes down around that 1% below their entry right here, you can see a volume spike just as big of them getting liquidated. So the whole point of as of why I was excited about that PO3 formation is because it's particularly in that area on the chart where it gives a lot of people not a long entry, okay? Because right below, a lot of people were talking about this daily fair value gap fill. So right here, we had this fair value gap, and guys, so many people were talking about filling this fair value gap that I was like, are we truly going to get that fair value gap fill? And I was truly confident we were not going to go lower than that 64.75 area, even though statistics said there was like an 80% chance of us actually taking out that low. But the thing is, right, we have to look at everything from a market maker perspective. So when we're talking about a market maker perspective in this current range, the market makers are not filling their positions in the premium pricing. And for the people that don't understand what premium pricing is, it's simply the upper section of your range. So we have our range high, we have our range low, and then when you divide that into two parts, the upper section is the premium pricing, the lower section is your discount pricing. So you can see all these lows right here, all these deviations. This is where market makers are filling their positions, and they are not filling their positions in the premium section of the range. So why, when price is retracing, why would price have that perfect retest, which allows everyone to get that easy long before going higher? No, the purpose of the retest is not to give everyone a long opportunity. The purpose of the retest is to stop anyone out that was in over leveraged breakout longs. And that we already got right on that 1% move down, like I just showed you, where people longed the breakout and got stopped out right here. Right here, all these people were already stopped out. So there was no reason to have like a proper retest to mitigate more demand because they already filled all their bags. So that's particularly why I was watching that PO3 formation. Now, we did not end up getting that PO3, but I told everyone in the Discord regarding another scenario that I was watching. And that is simply that if we watch this model one, people that have studied the mentorship know whenever you have a distribution, there's always the chance for your distribution to go over into an accumulation. So you can see the one, you can see the two, and you can see the three. And this was our range low. Now, from there, what happened is we deviated our range low. actually coming into some form of wick demand here on the left of that liquidation event where Wyckoff Insider actually catched an amazing long. And right here on, I think it was Friday, a pretty awkward timing right before arriving into the weekend, would put in that third tap, sweeping all of that extreme liquidity and mitigating extreme demand. I can see right here, we're just going to grab that last bullish candle that caused the expansion towards the upside. And there you go. You can see right here that our distribution model is currently flowing over into an accumulation, and we're about to come towards that range high, which is the technical target. But I just love the fact that we were talking about not getting that proper retest, even though statistics literally said there was an 80% plus chance of taking out this low. Yes, there was an 80% chance, but that 20% where it doesn't work out, that's when you have a scenario like this where it's like that key point of interest for every other trader to go long, and the market makers already stopped out the breakout longers. So not giving that proper retest, liquidating the breaker longers is just the ideal scenario and place on the chart to confirm this accumulation model. So that's just a bit of the price action that has happened ever since I was live to the public. And what I'm expecting next, right? So, what am I expecting next? I do think we're going to make our way towards that range high, which is the technical target of this accumulation. But at the same time, this cannot go over into a distribution anymore because we already have the 1, the 2, and the 3. A distribution can be a 4 tap. So I don't think this is going to just deviate this high and then fully reject back down to the 64.8-ish area. We have a lot of liquidity around 70K, and not just a lot of liquidity. 70K is also a very psychological level. The thing is, right above that, we have this 12-hour order block, which is also an order block that's created right in that pivot point. The thing is, right, I just have this gut feeling that there may be a chance that the liquidity around 70K is so much that that buying pressure, which is going to get triggered the moment we hit 70K, is just going to slice us through that 12-hour order block. And the reason why I like this is because if I also pull my volume profile, it truly looks like we're trying to lose this range from a volume perspective. So you can see that dotted line right here, which is our volume area high. We're kind of accumulating at that volume area high, keeping it as support, truly giving us signs of like, hey, we don't want to have a rotation back inside again, but we actually want to blast through. And then if you just look at what is there to stop price from going into price discovery, or at least hit an all-time high after surpassing that 12-hour demand or supply POI, absolutely nothing. Like we have high and a high and a high. And those highs have a lot of liquidity, guys, literally a lot. So basically, if I just look at this chart, like what are you seeing? I'm seeing an accumulation model. I'm seeing an uptrend following our most recent rotation up with an accumulation model around the volume area high, keeping it as support. Like those are all signs of just wanting to break out, wanting to finally leave that range. So from a smart money concept perspective, I think we're going to go higher from here. And also from a timing perspective, it is the time to go higher. So, not telling people to just randomly go long. These are just my expectations. Now we need to find those entry triggers to actually catch that juicy long. Because, guys, I have been watching this accumulation model, but even I could not get an entry. That's why it's so good, right? That's why it's so good. I could not get an entry because following proper structure, you did not break structure right until this break of structure right here. You wicked it first, and then you broke structure right in here. And that was on the Sunday midday. And I wasn't aware that we got that break of structure. But either way, there wasn't really a good, proper risk to reward worthy long. But that's why it's so crucial, right? That's why it's so good. I could not get a long entry. So, I saw a lot of people being short as well from this tap. So I think truly not that many people are long, and obviously they will long the moment you start to break out, and then you'll get a pullback, and the whole cycle continues. So pretty curious what Wyckoff Insider has to say about my analysis just now and what he's looking at. Any input?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just time, in my opinion. We don't like you
Yeah.
were, yeah, yeah. We can
Yeah.
I can say a lot, but like everyone is scared. You had like the war starting, then 10 hours later, no war starting, no response. It's just everyone is in fear, and that's what you need. So, like we were saying with the daily fair value cap, we just don't want to give those people an entry, like the sideline people. Like the bears are already gone, but like now it's just people being scared to enter the market, and that's what you want, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally forgot. I totally forgot about that news. It was like such a quick event. It's very good that you brought that up. That like there was like what was the FUD even? It was so quick. I think it was
Like
Tether, Tether doing something bad, and you had a war combined.
yeah, you had like two things. You had Israel attacking Iran, but I think they are doing that every day. So it was just getting released by mainstream media, in my opinion. And after that, so Iran was first going to respond, but 10 hours later, it was not that bad, so they did not want to respond. And then you had the USDT FUD, but that, yeah, it's
And
done.
what exactly was that USDT FUD? Because it happened before, and people need to pay attention to the fact that I think, right, if I'm still on the chart, yeah, I think based on the way price came down, that there might have been some FUD right in here or right in here. It was pretty fast back to back. I don't exactly know, guys. I don't exactly know when that FUD appeared, but probably the FUD appeared when we were already confirming our first signs of an accumulation, and that move down could simply just complete the third tab of the accumulation model. Like that happens every single time, right? Where literally you have FUD that causes a move down, which completes the last tab of your accumulation model. We see it right here on the lower time frame. But if we go on the higher time frame and you just identify each tab that I've put on my chart, each tab was an event full of FUD. You had wars, you had Germany selling positions, you had Mount Gox collapsing, you had the Japanese stock market getting liquidated. Like every move down, which is simply a tab of our accumulation model, was an event full of FUD every single time. So people need to understand the pattern that we're about to break out, and then there is FUD. But if you look back at what the FUD did the last four times, it was just complete the tabs of the accumulation model. So you can take that information, it's just basic pattern recognition, and you can apply it to the local time frame as well, right? Of like, we have a local accumulation model. We could be putting in a third tab. We're coming down, boom, FUD. It's like literally an extra confirmation to go long. You can literally just counter trade the news, right? Not the initial reaction, because the initial reaction would be that move down, but like just a few hours after, you can literally counter trade that selling pressure that will come in because of just some panic people or whatever causes that trigger down.
Yeah, how that is working, like the market makers, they set their limits ready, they release the news, and people sell in those limits, and then their limits are getting filled. It's so fucked up, but yeah, it's just the name
And
of the
then
game.
the problem is that people, like when you just talk in general regarding, oh yeah, the news is fake and all that stuff, people will call you like a conspiracy theorist. But you can literally see it in the chart that they literally manipulate news to create a market for their benefit. That's literally what they do. It's a whole big scheme, and you're not in that circle, you know. So it's I'm not surprised that they just have the data regarding all the orders in the charts and the liquidations and the liquidity levels, and then based on the FUD, they kind of fill orders and reverse price. Like that's what they do. And then after the news, so after the news got released, they made a mistake and now it's fake news. I'm sorry, it was fake news. Yeah, breath.
It is so fucked up.
Like
Uh,
even Joseph says it right here. He says fake news that Tater was under investigation, which the owner came out to say that it was fake and we're not under. Yeah, see, so like, but like who published it, right? If you want to dive down that rabbit hole of who published it, um,
The
it
market
did
maker.
cause a move down, which completed the accumulation model. And accumulation models are not created by retail, but created by local market makers to manipulate price. So it's just the same thing happens over and over and over again, and still I see some people fall for it, right? So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But guys, the end is near. Literally, the end is so near. It's it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very exciting. I'm gonna give the stage to you, Mr. Wyckoff Insider. You can cook something up.
All right, all right. So, guys, Bitcoin. We have a nice chart before us. I first want to start with the Bitcoin ETF. So, what does the Bitcoin ETF mean? It means that there are new big players in the market. New big money is entering the market. Now, the big boys, they are not going to push something if they have not positioned themselves. So, right here, the ETF went live. We did go down because the ETF went live. People think, whoa, bullish. And that's the moment the market makers decide to fill big shorts. There's a lot of buying pressure, so they can fill shorts. Now, market makers push price down. Right here, retail's thinking, whoa, we got a range break to the downside. No, this is pure manipulation. So retail shorting into the lows, selling positions, the market makers buying. If the market, it's always the same. For if someone wants to buy, another person needs to sell. So it's the same. It's always the same. Now we did go up, and right here people were getting too bullish. We go for a 10x on our portfolio. We go for this. We go for that. But the big players, BlackRock, they didn't have positioned themselves, so they needed a whole new reaccumulation range to position themselves. And yeah, that's what we had. So we keep on deviating. This is your initial range high, initial range low, and we keep on deviating the low. We never took the initial range high. So showing signs of accumulation in these lows every time there was FOD. So the market makers set their limits ready. They set their limits right here ready everywhere. And retail is selling into those lows because of FOD. They sell, market makers buy. Now, what do we have right now? So what we see, you create a range. This was the bear market low. You create a range. You got to push out of the range. And what we every time see is that we are leaving daily fair value gaps behind the moment we go. Now, why is that? The composite trader just explained that the market makers, when they have filled their positions, they don't want retail to enter too. So they leave the obvious zones behind. Right here, the same. Reaccumulation range, manipulation phase below the range, and boom, we go. Again, we leave daily fair value gaps behind. Really appreciate if you could zoom in your screen, bro. All right, so let me see. My screen is too big. So you create your range, and the moment you go, you leave those daily fair value gaps behind. Right here, you filled it, but it was like after 100 days. Again, create a new range. The moment you go, you leave the obvious zones behind. Right here, new reaccumulation range. Boom. The moment you go, you leave those zones behind. And right now here, like the composite trader was explaining, you also have a daily fair value gap. I see everyone doing this on Twitter. Do you really think we are going to get this? It could still happen because I have a counter argument for it. Right now, BlackRock is in the game, so they want to use every liquidity that is possible to fill their positions. So that's the only reason how I could see this getting filled. But right here, you didn't have BlackRock. But yeah, we are just pushing right now, and BlackRock is happy with their positions. They have like accumulated 1.3% of the whole Bitcoin supply, I think. And why did they need 1.3%? That's because when Bitcoin goes higher right now, they can manipulate price with that 1.3%. So for example, selling a big portion, buying it back, and that's just how they use it. Also right here, you got the daily swing fill. Now, I think I was the only one on Twitter that was calling for this potential daily swing fill. It's just manipulation. The market makers are happy. Right here, everyone was scared again with the foot. I posted sell now to buy back lower. When has that worked out, guys? Sell now to buy back lower. So now we are pushing up, but you see a lot of FOMO longs. Also, we have a friend of us. His name is Ron. When Ron is Ron is saying Bitcoin looks good, we normally go down, and he's saying right now that Bitcoin looks good. So that's a little bit scary. But yeah, time will tell. What do you think about this BlackRock accumulation TCT, Costa?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just I made that long threat regarding, as older as BTC gets, the more and more money that flows into Bitcoin, the more manipulative the asset needs to be in order to move a certain percentage away. If an asset has a million in liquidity, it's way easier to move that asset than when it has like billions, right? The more money that's in an asset, the more money it takes to move that asset. And now, obviously, with BlackRock, a lot of money is flowing into the asset, and therefore also it takes more money eventually to move that asset. So that can be, backing up your counter argument of like they do want to move price down to fill and leave nothing behind. But then, at the same time, if they're going to move that or fill that daily fair value gap, then why not come all the way down to that structure demand POI, right? In that daily swing fail, right? And I just don't see that happening. So it's kind of just because I don't see that happening, I also don't see us really coming down to fill that daily fair value gap. But I was interested in just looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart for a moment because I saw a lot of people talking about it. I just made a post regarding, our altcoins looking like a distribution, but BTC was showing normal signs, right? Not really signs of weakness. I'm gonna grab. Oh, you already have it on your chart.
And you can do it too. You or do you what?
Yeah, yeah. I was struggling because I'm not behind my normal setup right now, as you guys might notice. But what I was trying to pay attention to is we are in supply right now on Bitcoin dominance, but I was actually curious as to when Bitcoin dominance topped the previous two times and then the time where Bitcoin was when BTC dominance topped. Because I think the BTC dominance was topping when Bitcoin was in price discovery, right? Because Bitcoin always moves first. So if you want to put vertical lines where on your BTC dominance charts, so they overlap to the Bitcoin chart, just put a vertical line at the previous two tops on the BTC.D chart. Yeah, yeah, and then the one on the left as well. So one on the left you have on the
This
Bitcoin
one?
dominance chart with that massive wick. No, more on the left. I think even more, like more, like just the previous cycle. Way more on the left. You have just the previous all time high. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, it started topping obviously way. It started dumping down way before that other vertical line because that's kind of marking the previous all time high of that cycle. But you can see if you can pull a vertical line on the Bitcoin chart showing that you were actually in price discovery when the BTC dominance chart topped. So if you pull your previous all time high on the Bitcoin chart,
This?
yeah, no, from the previous cycle. Yeah, from there. Exactly, exactly. So you can see that we were breaking through the all-time high, truly entering price discovery very aggressively. And that's when you started rejecting from the BTC dominance chart. So even though we're in supply at the moment, we are not in price discovery yet on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just always moves first. So you'll see Bitcoin enter price discovery, move up pretty aggressively, while also therefore seeing a slight increase in the Bitcoin dominance chart. And then the moment Bitcoin starts to cool off, reject, and create a range, that's when your altcoins start to catch up, right? Obviously, your altcoins will move up. Your altcoins will move up when Bitcoin is moving up, but that true euphoric alt season will appear the moment Bitcoin is in price discovery, slightly rejects, and starts just a local range, starts just a new reaccumulation range. In that range, man, you'll see your alts catch up so hard, causing BTC dominance to fall because Bitcoin will stay around the same price or slightly reject. and then your alts start to catch up, and then you'll see that BTC dominance just plummet down, right? And it's truly a way of timing it properly. Obviously, you should already be positioned in projects that you like, but that true euphoric alt season, man, that's gonna happen when Bitcoin is in price discovery. And I'm thinking it could easily be between 90 and 100K if you just blast straight up in that first expansion going into price discovery. And then right there, when you start consolidating, that's when you see that euphoric alt season, which, guys, will probably not even last that long. Like previous cycles, that true euphoric alt season was around 3 to 4 months. And then from there, you also got a harsh rejection on your altcoins. And then that kind of whole, double topping formation started happening where some altcoins put in new highs, but not that further away from the previous high, from that first high, before actually rejecting down pretty hard. So I think people might underestimate the fact that the altcoin season is of a pretty short duration, because especially with how we are expecting the Bitcoin price to be very manipulative going into price discovery, we will also have to create a very big distribution on Bitcoin if you want to dump us back down into a bear market. And when you create that massive distribution, the same will be for altcoins. So you might see that first aggressive expansion. I can take the screen for a moment
Yes.
to visualize what I'm about to say. So let me just get rid of this. It's hard to pull up multiple screens when you're on the laptop. But what I'm about to say, what I was trying to say, is that let's say the Bitcoin tops look something like this. Okay, so we're going up into price discovery, we get that rejection, and then from there we just start distributing, and then it kind of looks like a model 2, but we just continue higher to create like a massive manipulation phase, and then we dump down, right? Where we kind of, this was your range, and then price just started manipulating right above that range high, and this could be at any point in time. Okay, this is not particularly, or at any point in price. So it doesn't have to be 100K, it could also be 120 to 150, you name it, but just something like this where Bitcoin is on the high time frame creating this range where we push out, but that's just manipulation, and then we reverse back down into a bear market. Just some form of a distribution play for us to top out. Now, it could be that this is actually will be going on for a very long time. So just see a lot of people talking about super cycles, and I'm trying to find my path through here. So you see a lot of people will talk about super cycles, and they'll call this just market structure pointing up, right? Where everyone is trying to long the higher low, and then it dumps down. But the time between the starting point right here, so the time between the starting point of the range and then actually when you confirm that topping formation, this could be, right, 100 to maybe even 200. That area could be that long of a range from a duration standpoint, where it feels like the entire time you're just in the bull market going into price discovery, but price is actually already starting to begin its range that will end up being a distribution. And right in here, right in here, in that first expansion that will go into that range, which will end up being the distribution, that's when you'll see your true alt season, right? In this area, that's when you'll see your true alt season, which may last 3 to 4 months. And then you'll see a lot of altcoins maybe even reach their forever all-time high. And then they'll start to also reject and become part of a distribution schematic where maybe some altcoins will have a range that, takes out the high one more time when we're taking out the high right here or right here. But if we compare it to the previous cycle, there were a lot of altcoins who never took out that first initial high, even though BTC did make that double top, right? But right in here, in that first expansion that will go into that distribution, that can maybe last like 4 months. And that's where the most of the gains will be made. And then maybe some altcoins will do a 2x from their all-time high, but it's probably they're also going to be part of that massive distribution schematic. And especially if you get something like this, man, people will be calling for 500K super cycles. The bullish news you'll see when price pushes up, that right there is going to be absolutely insane. But I want people to be aware that a true euphoric alt season is like 3 to 4 months of just studying verticality And then you'll get that range where some altcoins will start deviating the high, make new highs, maybe do 1 to 200% away. But the real gains were made from right now until, that price discovery phase. Because I just remember, the last cycle, when I was invested in altcoins, guys, I got like a 10 to 15x when I was very late into projects that were not even that good because just everything went up. So now the fact that you're a position prior to BTC going into price discovery, man, you can expect good gains if you're invested in the right projects.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Mr. Michael Insider?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying my portfolio.
He's just enjoying the portfolio. Okay, guys. Next thing, I actually wanted to clarify this a lot because I saw some people talk about Caspa. Yo, what is Caspa doing? Mr. Wyckoff Insider, if you could pull up Caspa real quick for us.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the stage because you also made that great call regarding the distribution on Caspa. Like months ago, we were talking about that distribution, but I wanted to talk about the expectations you should have for your portfolio, right? Because I see a lot of people, they want to be talking about doing a 20 to 50x on their portfolio, but then there are invested in projects who are in the billions of dollars. Guys, no matter who you follow and which price targets they give you, if you want to aim for a 50x on your portfolio, you should not be invested in projects that are above 500 million market cap minimum, right? Like, if you want a 50x, you should be in that 10 million market cap range. But I see people talking about a 50x on projects who are close to a billion, which is just unrealistic. There are way more projects in the market compared to last time, and the last cycle is way more saturated. If you want to aim for a 5 to 10x, that's when you should be hovering around that billion-dollar market cap. But if you want to aim for 20 to 50, you should not be looking particularly above 100 million market cap, right? Because that will mean that your project will go into the multiple billions when there are so many other projects out there who are also good. And not every project can hit multiple billions of dollars, right? So if you want to aim, Caspa might be a great project, might be very strong fundamentally speaking, even though the chart looked absolutely horrible and still doesn't look good in my opinion. But why would you be invested in Caspa when you can simply just do data analysis yourself regarding ETH beta, SOL, and SOL beta, invest in the highest conviction plays of this cycle, which will be memes, right? And then just leverage your portfolio on ETH and SOL beta plays who can actually give you 20 to 50x returns compared to a Caspa who might do a 5x, right? And Brett, I just see someone talk about Brett. So Brett is around a billion. I don't want to be too pessimistic, but if it's hard for a coin that's worth a billion to do a 20 to 30x. It's possible, but it's hard. Now, if a project this cycle is going to do that 30x, that's already in the billion-dollar status, it will be Brett, right? That's my opinion. If there's a project who's going to do a 30x being in the billions, it will be Brett because it's in the meme section, which is just going to be the hot narrative this cycle. It's a high quality meme. It has established itself as a very good project on base, but at the same time, you're taking a safer bet regarding the meme space because Brett is already a billion. Could it do a 20x? It could, but it's way harder. For example, for Brett to do a 20x compared to another low cap that's on the base network, because what you will see. Brett is going to get a lot of hype. It already has a lot of hype, and that's going to continue going forward when prices are going to be in insane valuations. But what you can do is you can hold Brett, right? Or maybe divide your Brett take out 50%, and then if Brett catches a lot of attention, and therefore also the base network is going to get a lot of attention, what do you think will happen to low cap meme projects, which are high quality on the base network? Just like money is going to flow into Bitcoin, and then after Bitcoin, it will flow into mid caps and low caps and just ultra micro caps. It's going to be the same with base, right? If Brett catches a lot of attention and a lot of liquidity is going to flow into Brett, people will look at Brett and then they'll just randomly invest in other base projects who are also going to be hot because the liquidity within the base ecosystem will be going from Brett to, for example, like I think you have Toshi, which is like the second most famous on the base ecosystem, and then other great projects like, for example, PC, which is also regarding the Pepe narrative and all that stuff. But if you want a 30x, you're taking a higher risk for a 30x investing in Brett. If you just want to aim for a 30x, then when you invest in lower cap, high quality projects in the base ecosystem, which will catch a lot of attention if Brett goes up. So it's basically the same way that you're investing in Andy when the same way you're investing in Andy, which is a leverage play on Ethereum, you can also have leverage plays within the base ecosystem and leverage plays on Brett, because it's kind of Brett kind of represents right now the base ecosystem because it's like the number one by far, right? So yes, Brett can go to insane valuations. It is a very good risk to reward. I personally hold Brett, but if you want to aim for those 50x's, you need to be looking at those lower market cap valuations, right? That's just the name of the game. And don't be fooled by too many people calling for 100x on their 500 million market cap project.
Yeah, so with that, for example, we take Caspa right now. There was so much hype behind this project. It's a good project, don't get me wrong. But no one is in the crypto space, like 0.1% in the whole crypto space is in it for the tech, for the technology.
Yeah.
We all are here to make money. So holding this coin because your favorite influencer with 500k followers is saying Caspa is the next Bitcoin, Caspa is this, Caspa is that. That is just not a good thesis to be in a project. I have read the white paper of Caspa. I don't understand it because I'm not a technical person. That's why for me I like meme coins more because I understand the thought process behind meme coins. And for Caspa, the people that bought in here, so this is your original accumulation, like by maybe even before the launch, maybe you even have seed investments, people that buy before the launch. So they from here they're already up 6,000%. So if you buy like Caspa, most people I think bought it around in this push because they saw a crazy push, and then you create the biggest distribution ever. Why is that? That's the people that bought in here and that have seed investments are just scaling out of their positions. They also know that we will have a meme super cycle, but they are just chilling their own bags. They have millions in Caspa. Not saying that everyone who was shilling Caspa is a bad person. It's a good project, don't get me wrong. But when something has pumped 6,000%, it's normal that you get a massive distribution. So the moment you broke structure here to bearish, so in this, wait, let me delete this. So the moment you broke structure in this third leg, right here, that is the moment you should have asked yourself, do I really want to be in this project? And that's why TCT schematics work so good and why everyone needs to understand basic TCT schematics, because then you could have scaled out right here and now you are still holding for the tech. And yeah, maybe right now you are still holding Caspa. Is this then a good moment to sell? No, not anymore, because the moment you sell, so we go down more, that's the moment the market makers have their limits ready to make a reaccumulation again for higher. Because Caspa is still a good project, don't get me wrong. But it's just why Why would you position yourself in Caspa? You can also position yourself in Andy that has way bigger returns. It's actually funny to hold it because the narrative is nice. You have a whole community behind it. Everyone is hyped. Everyone wants to make money. No difficult tech. So why would you hold that in coin like Caspa? Of course, you need to structure your portfolio good. So we have safe plays, like for me that are bigger memes, like a Brett on base, like yeah, Andy for me is a big meme, a safe play. And then you can also allocate a certain percentage of your portfolio to higher risk plays. Of course, well calculated higher risk plays to get that 30x. But being in Caspa and being in a Brett on base, do you really think you can get that 30x? There are people in Brett, for example, Crash, amazing guy, but he has a position right now that's worth 7 million. Right now, Crash is your biggest
7
friend.
million, which is public.
Yeah, which is
Let's
public. He
add
also
some.
has some,
Let's
yeah.
add some private wallets.
All right. Let's say he has three more private wallets. I think he has. So he has right now 50 million unrealized in this project. I really think he has that. The moment he starts placing his limits to scale out of his position, he's not your friend anymore. Believe me,
Yeah.
he's the best guy in the world right now. But when he starts selling, oh boy. So that's why I like CTO memes more. Yeah, we do not have a real CTO meme right here, but more on deck screener, like the lower caps that has a fair launch. Everyone can get their position at the same time. So people who love the project, they buy the project. That's what you want. And with things like Caspa, you have seed investments that are up like 100x. People that are only in the space to make money. So what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's like literally no matter the project, no matter how good the project is, I am just a trader. Okay. So as a trader, we just see opportunities in the market. So right now, crypto is a massive opportunity, right? That's why I've been rotating my profits from trading, which is like what I do on a daily basis, into high conviction plays. Um, in the crypto market right now, especially in the meme space. But I will literally only invest in crypto projects that have quality content or just a high conviction narrative if the chart looks good. No matter if you tell me like buy this right now, but I see a distribution, I'm not buying it. I need a good project with a good looking chart, right? And right now, when you have Caspa on your screen, the chart just looks so.
All right, I'll leave him here.
Oh yeah, just leave him there. Just leave him there.
Yeah.
The thing is, right? The chart tells you everything that you need to know because only market makers have the ability to move the market and they have to position themselves. So if your project is good, if the chart is going to go up, it means there's demand that's greater than supply. And then the market makers had some form of manipulation before they had the expansion towards the upside. So no matter how good the project is, if I look at the chart and I see a chart like Caspa, there's not one cell in my body that wants to buy this project right now. Look how heavy this looks. You have been deviating your high, you come down, you leave supply behind, no buy side liquidity above. Why would I want to invest in this project when you literally, I'm going to steal the chart from you, um, when you literally have a project like Andy where you're simply just trending up, right? I'm always losing my bars too, but you're simply just trending up, making higher lows and higher highs. You've literally come down all the way for extreme demand, which is this daily order block right here. And right in that daily order block, you had this lovely accumulation model that you broke out of. Okay. And what's even more perfect is that just following basic market structure rules, if I can find that path to again. Uh, there you go. We're making higher lows and higher highs. Structure from the top down has now been broken back to bullish. I'm going to make it thicker so you guys can fully understand and follow what I'm about to say. Your black market structure is your most important market structure. Okay. That's the uptrend from bottom to top. You also have structure from top to bottom. And when your structure from top to bottom breaks back to bullish, okay, that will confirm that your structure from bottom to top will put in that higher low for the higher high. So I need to reverse the colors so it's represented correctly with the chart. Right here, this break of structure, it's very simple market structure skills, guys. This break of structure on that red market structure drawing from top to bottom will confirm the higher low on this black move up, move down, move up. And that's what you're seeing right here, that we have that move up, move down, move up, move down, move up. And this is simply just a higher low for a higher high that is now confirmed by this market structure break. And not only that, we have market structure pointing up. We have demand getting mitigated. We have accumulation models getting confirmed while also having no resistance here. Like there's no proper resistance here, but just highs. They're simply just highs. And what I love about what Andy just did is that we came down, leaving our all highs intact, right? So we had this high intact, we have this high intact, and we have this high intact. So what I love about this is I made everyone aware, right? I made everyone aware in the Discord that, hey, we have a distribution. Like it was just as simple as that. We had a distribution, so we could expect that 30 to 40% pullback, which is exactly what we got, right? Right here from that distribution on that breakout structure, we went down right now around 33%. But the thing I'm liking, right, and I think Mr. Wyckoff Insider, you're going to notice this now also for the first time, that basically we know that this whole accumulation range is demand, right? This whole area is just demand. That's just, it's as simple as that. But in that demand, we have even more refined demand, okay? So right here, you can see the more refined area, which is the bigger refined area. And in that area, we have even more refined demand. So we have a lot of support below, which will literally, it's going to hold price up. But imagine we actually come into these green POI areas. Look, if I just zoom out, I want you guys to pay attention as to how this bottom looks, because there's one very significant behavior of what price likes to do before you truly have a very aggressive expansion towards the upside. I'm trying to find my liquidity curve tool. Right here. What you'll see is just this massive rounding up effect. Look at this. So technically speaking, right, you will start your accumulation in here, but you are allowed to actually start it from here, which will make you have that model 1 effect that could be flowing over into a very good looking model 2, right? Where this is actually the range high that you're waiting for. You can use it. This is just a better accumulation to look at, but look at this chart, right? Look at this macro rounding up effect if we actually come down to mitigate that demand, which is probably likely we will, because I don't think we're going to just V-shape reverse up from here, leaving these lows intact. So coming maybe down like this to then boom, look how that will look on the chart. That's just gonna that just looks perfectly. Like it's like I cannot make a better rounding up bottom effect than this. It's kind of that rounding up effect combined with your accumulation models, right? They go hand in hand. But I'm seeing this and I'm like, why would you want to buy a project like Caspa, which has so much supply above and not that much liquidity and no signs, literally absolutely zero signs of an accumulation model, compared to a project like Andy, which has just been rolling up? If I just invert the chart right here, if I invert the chart right here, like this would be very bearish. You know, if I invert the chart right here, I would tell you guys to sell everything, right? I will tell you guys that we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3 that had its own little distribution that broke down, and now we can get the lower high for the lower low. So if I invert it back up, we can see the exact same, but then from an accumulation perspective. And for some reason, I take so many more distribution trades than accumulation trades. I don't know what the whole point of that is. I realized it when I was reflecting back on my trading journal, but I've seen way more distributions than accumulations, and when I see this, I'm bearish, right? When I see this, I'm bearish. So if I invert it back, I'm bullish. So it's like you have a project which is in the narrative of this cycle, which is memes, with that chart that looks good. I think truly the beginning stages, right? I truly think the beginning stages of this crypto cycle, that's when you had those very high cap or those very high conviction layer ones. You had Injective, who was going absolutely nuts. You had Caspa, who was going absolutely nuts. And you had these multiple layer ones who were going parabolic in the beginning of this cycle. And that kind of changed going into March, April of this year, 2024. That's when you truly saw memes start to pick up, right? And just start to absolutely blast off. Pepe was going through the roof, right? After such a long accumulation. And that truly set the tone of this cycle because since then, literally since then, memes have been outperforming while BTC has been ranging. And I think the moment BTC will go into that price discovery phase, the memes are going to be so much stronger than those other layer ones. But yeah, I noticed that in the beginning of the cycle, you have these high, very well followed influencers talking about all the X's that they have delivered on projects like Tau and Caspa and Injective, and those are all amazing projects. But I think the better risk to reward plays right now are in the memes when memes started to took off March, April. That's actually when we were in Spain. Remember, we were in Spain.
Bro, that was crazy. So maybe you can pull up the Bitcoin chart. We are actually pumping.
Oh, look at this, guys! Just look at this. I'm
And Lars,
very. I'm.
I
No,
have a
no. Tell me.
question for you. I have a question for you. Someone is saying this. What is your honest opinion about this?
50% Andy and 50% Wolf. Well, when I have to give opinions, right? When I have to give opinions on someone's portfolio, it's always important to know what the purpose is of their portfolio, right? It's like how much money do you have? How much money are you trying to make? How much money are can you afford to lose this cycle? Those are very important questions when critiquing someone's portfolio. Now, Andy and ETH are both amazing projects. If I personally had 10 grand, right, and then in your situation, you would have 5K in Andy, 5K in ETH, depending on my risk tolerance, um, I would have maybe 50% of my portfolio in Andy and Wolf. And then this is if I'm trying to go degen mode, right? If I'm trying to go degen mode, I may have 50% of the portfolio in Andy and Wolf, which are well established high conviction meme plays. And then the other 50% is diversified in memes also across different chains. So we have a high conviction play on Solana, high conviction play on Base, and a high conviction play or like a high conviction ultra micro cap play on ETH. But if you have like a 50-50 Andy Wolf split, you'll be looking at like a 10 to 20x on your portfolio if everything goes good. I know you're the master of rotation plays and portfolio management. So I'm very curious. You are on mute, brother.
I'm back. I'm back. So
Yeah,
I
you're
was
back.
more pointing for. Do you think it's smart to be 100% allocated to one narrative? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to say with diversifying across different chains. So not only being in Boys Club, but also having a high conviction play on Solana, or having just a high conviction play on ETH in a different sector, right? Not particularly the Boys Club on its own. The Boys Club is a well established high conviction play this cycle, but to be 100% allocated would not be my way to go.
Yeah. So for example, you have 50% in Andy, 50% in Wolf. It can happen that Pepe just shit the bed, and then Andy and Wolf are not going to perform that good. So, in my opinion, it would be better. For example, you have a meme on Solana. You have some in Andy and Wolf because those are one of the best. These are one of the best projects. But make sure your risk is diversified in different coins. So yeah, that's so important.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's like it's like that's a big mistake people make, right? Is like they're not that diversified in their portfolio, and then they start to chase narratives. They start to chase narratives of like, okay, now Solana coins are popping off, and they have been fully invested in ETH, and then they start to switch ETH for Solana, and then the moment they switch, ETH starts to pop off. So if you're only invested in one narrative, you will catch yourself chasing other narratives who are popping up. While if you're diversified, you'll catch some candy from each hype moment, right? Which then, if you're also a well experienced trader or very good at rotation plays, you can start to time these hype moves where you see ETH getting a lot of lag compared to Solana, and then you see Solana kind of topping out for some reason, and you kind of rotate some Sol into ETH until ETH pops off, and then you rotate it back in Sol, and Sol pops off, and you kind of catch these rotations. But that's only something you do with like money that's like on the side for rotation plays and flip plays, and not particularly your spot portfolio selling. That should be just diversified across each narrative, in my opinion. I see you cooking up some charts.
Yeah, so perfectly
Goat.
how you are saying. Like, so let's first talk about Fred. No, Fred is on the chart, guys. He's holding price up. But with the portfolio, we are traders. So in a community, what do? We make money with trading, and then we rotate it back into crypto projects. And also, like what Lars was saying, it's so important that you see when hype is getting too crazy. So you have a lot of coins right now. You have a lot of different narratives. We have the Solana narrative. Solana is breaking out against ETH. So Solana memes will perform the coming time better than ETH memes. That's just data. Um, so you really need to understand when hype is getting too crazy and you see people posting on Twitter that they made like a 10x overnight on a certain narrative, and then you see a distribution, a higher time frame distribution on the chart, then it's time to get out. For gold, for example, gold was a mix between AI and memes. So you have an AI that is talking on Twitter, and this meme is basically made AI X meme. So the hype was getting too crazy. You pumped 380% in 3 days. This is 3 days, guys. And you see that people, and this project right here was, I think, 700 million or something. And then you create like a higher time frame distribution. It's not the best one, but because it's such in an early stage, you can have like these big of a deviations. So you get this. You even come up to grab extreme liquidity right here. And if you then see that people are making 10x's overnight, it's time to get out. Time to get out of this narrative and wait for signs of accumulation again to get back in. And that's how you rotate between narratives. And that's exactly what we want to do in the Discord. But first, we need to make sure that everyone is aware of the basic TCT schematics, and then we can talk about rotating. So what are
Man,
your thoughts?
I'm making a post right now in the Discord because we just hit a take profit on our trade from this morning in the forex market, actually, for a
Ooh,
change. You know,
can you go over it?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Oh,
Let
wait,
me
wait
take
one
back.
second, Lars. We have 1,000 viewers right now, but the likes are just not it. How can we how can we fix
Where
that?
I don't even Loki, I don't even know where I can see the likes. I don't have the YouTube thing open right now.
Yeah, so on Twitter, I have 20 likes, and I have 500 watchers on Twitter. So guys,
Guys,
if you
just hit the
come on,
like button. The thing is, right? Listen closely to me right now. If you hit that like button, you put yourself in the environment to get lucky in life. right? You give us that good energy, energy gets is reciprocated. You get that good energy back, right? So people always talk about, oh yeah, you got lucky. No, you got lucky because you deserve to get lucky because you like that fucking like button. That's just how this game works. And if you don't believe me, then stay unlucky, right? You want to wake up again seeing this other meme absolutely pop off and you are yet again not invested. You want to feel that feeling again of missing out on another crazy play because you did not like this like button? Is that going to be you? Or are you going to take matters into your own hands and just take action by starting to hit that like button? It's in your hands. I'm telling you now, if you like the like button, you're going to get good karma in the upcoming 2 weeks in any aspect in life. It could be you go to the gym, you meet your future girlfriend. It could be you catch the next 1000x play. You name it, you'll get lucky. But only if you hit that like button. It's up to you. It's up to you. I cannot like the like button for you. You know, we're just providing the information. You got to take matters into your own hands now and start clicking. Okay? That's just how this game of life works. You get what you give, you know? That's just that's just the thing.
Yeah, but it's literally if you give up, if you give positive energy, you get it back. It's that simple.
Literally. And the thing is, right? We are living proof. We are living proof because look at the members in our Discord. They are all people who are just striving for success, who are hungry, who want to take accountability, who also focus on personal development because that's what we push out. That's the energy that we bring, right? And you just get the and you just meet the same people. So literally, you are what you receive or whatever they want to say. So start giving out that positive energy, guys. Actually, literally, I was uh I was making some posts, you know, regarding my leverage longs and my leverage positions, and then there are these people who don't even know me talking about me trying to market my trades with 200x leverage when I literally tell them in the exact same page that hey, I'm not trying to flex the 200x leverage. This is just to minimize the margin that I use on a de-risk trade. But you have these random people in life who don't understand trading, right? Otherwise, they would not make that comment and then leave a hate comment. Like, if you are a person that leaves a hate comment, you're just weird because you don't know the other person, right? I just don't understand that. So start giving out love and you will start to receive love. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. Closed by 70K indeed. Let's I see you have Fred. Guys, there are 1,000 viewers right now, and there are around, I think, a tenth of those viewers are VIP members, right? And only the VIP members know Fred. Guys, if you don't know Fred, study, study harder. You know where to go. All I say, okay, all I'm saying is that I put Fred on the chart at the exact bottom, and I said, this is the bottom. Literally, I put Fred on the chart, and Fred, for the people that don't know, is our support manager for the Bitcoin price action. So whenever I use Fred, we bounce. I don't use it that often. I use it for critical points in time where we actually need to bounce. And Fred does not disappoint. I have it clipped. I'm gonna post it. I put Fred on the chart and I said, this is the bottom. And guess where we are now? At new highs. So study Fred and study the Discord because we're not joking in there. Fred is actually maybe even a relative of Mr. Larry Fink that I happen to know here and there, that I happen to be in contact with here and there. You know what I mean? So study Fred and then study the magnet and then study a reversed hammer.
Study Fred. Hey, thanks, guys. Guys, we see the likes. The support is just amazing. Like, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just such an emotional speech, Mr. Wyckoff Insight.
Yeah, it's like it's good if people do good. If we do good and people do good, it's nice. So,
Yeah,
bro, we are blasting, bro.
It's literally just it's just an energy exchange, right? We're just here to talk nothing but data. We just talk data, right? I'm not telling you that we're gonna go to 100K without giving you a reason as of why. You have so many people out there who just scream numbers. They just scream things without backing it up. We're backing it up with talking about certain patterns that we see, certain behavioral changes that are existing right now. It's like it's all just data that we're representing, right? And then combine that with trading confirmations and not expectations, and you're going to succeed in the markets. You're going to succeed in the markets right here. But regarding the forex trade, is actually it's pretty interesting. Let me steal the screen from you. And this is just, guys, this is what I do on a daily basis. Okay, this is, you're gonna get a sneak peek. Okay, you're gonna get a sneak peek as to what I do as a trader. So let me take back the screen. Boom. So this is going to be on forex, guys, but it's important that you also understand forex. And just, you can see, if you watch my explanation right now, you can see that what I'm trading on forex is the exact same in crypto, because it works the same in almost every market. But we had a very high probability trade today that I shared live in the VIP Discord, and actually we were talking about it the entire live stream during New York Open. But what we have right here is just very clear and defined price action. So what you can see is price simply trending down. So on the higher time frame, this is just one move down. This is our level 1 market structure. Okay. Now, if we're dissecting that last leg down into more market structure on the 1 hour, you get this level 2 market structure. This is a kind of like 2-hour market structure, but you can see that we're trending down and price comes up to our most local market structure high, but we're failing to take out that high. Like we literally we SFP that high, or just had a tiny close above it. And then while actually coming towards that high, we created a model 1 distribution schematic, okay? Where you can see right here, we have our range high, we have our range low, we got that deviation 1, we extended, and then we actually got our deviation 2, indicating the Wyckoff model 1 distribution schematic, and then we got the move down. Now, we were watching this, we were prepared for it, but there was simply just no confirmation, which is totally fine. You don't have to catch every move. There was no confirmation to short right here, because there was no structure between the lowest point of your tab 2 towards your third tab high to break back the bearish. There was no confirmation. However, we know the macro context now, because we were trending down and this distribution took place in an area where we were expecting a lower high. And what happened is we got that distribution and we broke out of that range towards the downside, leaving behind this beautiful supply POI. And if people have watched the course, they understand that this is structure supply, which is just good looking supply. Overall, we have created a new range, right? Just following our simple market structure. Price retraced back down to that equilibrium. And you can see right here, we have a range low, we have a range high, and we came back to the equilibrium to touch it. So market structure is trending down. Price fell to break any local market structure on the mid time frame back to bullish. We got the distribution, and now we are in premium pricing of our range, coming into extreme supply, which just stands for the last supply remaining. So we were looking for a short in this supply POI. Very simple. We were looking for a short. Now, what did we see? Okay, what did we see? We have a range high and we have a range low. Coming into that resistance, we can see right here, range high, range low, and then we got that deviation 1. After the deviation, we extend our range high to our deviation high, extend it to the right to have more data, and then you can see right here, we got our deviation 2. Now, what is absolutely lovely in Forex is your session liquidity points. So you can see in the blue is represented your London price action, and in orange is represented your New York price action. So we can see right here on that second tap, that's the highest point that price traded during London, making it our London high. And Forex loves to take out those session liquidity points in the other session. So we had London high that got taken out, okay, on New York Open. Not exactly on New York Open, but just in your New York session. And we can see the way that we came up to that third tap, we were leaving behind a massive trail of liquidity, just like this. And people that have studied the private lectures in the Discord server absolutely know that this is my go-to type of setup. We got the break of structure right here, which is exactly where I shorted on the break halfway through this candle. And then I put my stop loss above the high, and then I targeted the low right here initially. I had a 2% risk trade because this is a valid TWT schematic. And then right here, we had extreme demand, which is my TP1, realizing me right now over 2.5%. I went pretty heavy on this trade because I was so confident in the setup. Price ended up coming back up right here to sweep extreme liquidity, which is totally fine. It just means that this model 1 goes over in a model 2, but I'm targeting this range low on the rest of my entry, and my stop loss right now is at entry, right? Because I don't want price to come up before coming down. I don't want to risk losing any more money. This is just a de-risk trade with realized profits. Now, the beauty of this is, guys, is that you make, right? You make 2 to 3% in this single trade. Now, for the people that have been following me for a while, you know how rich you can get by just making 5% a week. You can be a millionaire in no time just by making 5% a week, which are just two simple high quality TCT setups. And just to confirm everything, I want to show you guys the pre-planning, right? I want to show you guys the pre-planning. So right here, can I actually put this on my screen? Do you see my Discord right now? Or no?
No, we do not see it.
Okay,
Like
okay, okay.
Bitcoin, all it's approaching 70K. Damn.
So what I want to show lastly is I'm just going to show them one picture right here of the people in the Discord know we talked about it the entire stream. Oh, the picture I pasted is way too large. Let me do it like this. Right here. Right here, you can see that I posted, hey guys, I'm watching this exact setup, right? You can see the entry right here on that break of structure. I'm going to enter. You can see that return to zone. We talked about it the entire New York Open stream because this was the only pair that had a proper setup forming. And it's like, hey guys, when we take this, we're gonna run it back down. So yeah, it's just like it's just preparation. The mentorship is there for you to study. We have 3 live streams each day. You know, we're trading London, we're trading New York, and the people are just stacking up those consistent gains, allowing them to reinvest more money into crypto, right? If you literally a simple stat while we're absolutely pumping, damn, I'm kind of distracted by this pump right now.
Oh.
I'm very curious what's going to happen at the 70K area, guys. But what I wanted to say, okay, what I wanted to say, if you were to stack up 5% each week for this entire range duration, guys, you would have you would have 3x'd almost your portfolio probably during this range. And now you have 3 times the amount of money to reinvest into high conviction plays going into price discovery. Like that's actually life changing. You know, crypto is going to be here in cycles. Trading is going to stay here forever. So study TCT schematics. If you want to scalp, if you want to day trade, if you want to be a swing trader, if you want to be an investor, it applies to everything. As you can see right here, it also allows you to just swing trade and invest in the correct times in this macro moves. But we're going higher as expected. And let's see what's going to happen once we hit that 70K area. I'm very curious what's going to happen once we exceed that high. But knowing Bitcoin, we'll just do this for 2 more hours before we end the live, and then it goes.
Bro, I want that 5K candle, man. Just blast.
I've been craving that 5K candle.
It's loading.
It's literally loading. I'm waiting for this candle, right? Like this in one candle. Just boom.
Yeah, even back in the days, like if you go to the one more reaccumulation range back, bro, there were candle, bro, boy, that's what we want.
This is what you want. Just like this is 12 hours. In 12 hours, just or in 16 hours, just a 6K, 6.5K candle. Oh my lord. Just a
Bro,
one
that's
daily candle just
that's
blasting
what we
through
need,
everything.
man. That's what we need.
I think that's what we're gonna get. It
Hey, do
needs
you
it needs
see?
that trigger. At one price point, that trigger is gonna get activated, right? It's
Do you see like the chat? Do you get new comments?
yeah,
I
I'm
think
seeing the
it's.
chat. Let me see. Bro,
I
we are
did not
so
see.
ready. Don't fade Fred. I'm also so ready, bro. I'm so ready.
Mm-mm. So maybe we can chart some altcoins, and we'll switch back to Bitcoin if it pumps to 70K. But guys, let say in the chat which altcoin you want TA on. Team Fred. Hashtag Team
Team
Fred.
Fred. Do we have
Don't fade run. Don't fade run. Ooh. Chart Ponka. Lars, can you go
yeah,
over
yeah,
Ponka?
someone has been spamming Ponka. I wanted to actually talk about Ponka. Bro, when we're talking about high quality memes on the Soul Chain, bro, Ponka is such a high quality project. Like the content that they are putting out, I think it's the best content regarding a meme project. Literally, they have insane amounts of views on the videos that they make. They have like hundreds of thousands of followers on their reels and all that stuff. Like literally, the content that they produce is actually high quality, and is definitely also a decent looking chart. I was making everyone aware at the time that hey, this is where we're actually going to scale in right here. You can see the clean looking accumulation right here that actually ended up being extended into like an extra higher low, just at LPS mitigation. And what you can see right here is just price stalling around that range high area before getting ready to actually break through. So I think this is what you call like the what's that area, when they're like you're stalling around the range high
The
from a
yeah,
Wyckoff
that's
perspective.
you have the signs of strength and you have the boo LPS.
Yeah, the BULPS, exactly. This is like price is just stalling in here before it's ready to go and leave this range behind for good. So definitely a good looking chart on Ponke. These were the best times to start scaling in. It is on the higher market cap end. It is, I think, around 200 mil market cap already. Um, so I wouldn't be screaming for 50x's on a project like this, but the project itself, I think, is extremely high quality, and I think it's literally, if I had to pick out a meme coin this cycle who has the highest quality videos and animations, it is going to be Ponke. Does it mean it's going to give us the highest return? No, but it does show how good the project is and the effort, mostly the effort that they're putting into this project. So chart is looking decent. I think you can easily squeeze higher the moment Bitcoin gives green light, and this can go into the billions. I believe this project can go into billions for sure.
Nice. I will go over. Let's. So we are talking about soul memes. I also have another meme on soul. Wait a second. Our big friend Moodeng. So actually, um, this coin is just amazing. So a friend of mine, like his name is Donny, he pointed this out to me. Then we together checked the chart. We did go um, over the X page on Mudang. Mudang is the most famous animal in the whole world right now. It's getting crazy attention. People are live streaming this guy the whole day. When you look at their Twitter, it's not a crypto Twitter. It's actually just a guy people like. So
I saw
that
like a fan page, even just like a fan page who
yeah,
had like 80,000 followers. A fan
yeah
page of Mude,
you
bro.
have fan pages. You have the engagement is literally the highest. You only have Ponke that is doing higher numbers on Instagram because they are just marketing beasts. And then after that, you have Mooding. Look at this guy. So when we go in price discovery on Bitcoin, and people that like Mudeng come into the crypto space, they will invest in Mudeng. Why would they invest in Caspa? They don't understand Caspa. No, they like this. They like this boy. So Donnie pointed out this to me. Go follow him. Yeah, I will just search between my comments. His name is Donnie. And yeah, we entered literally right here. And a day after it, we got this crazy pump. It was 230%. The people in the VIP, some people took it with me, some faded
Bro,
it.
I faded it. I didn't even, bro. I was mad at myself. I was just busy doing some things, user experience, all that stuff. And I saw you post about Mudeng, and like one stream later, someone in the New York Open live stream says Mudeng, and I checked the chart, and I'm like, holy moly, what happened here? But I know you posted it prior, which is that was disgusting. That was
That was so
that's
nasty.
not
It
even
was,
funny.
bro. I
That's
was
not funny.
like, I was going for a run, guys. I was running, and then my friend Donnie, we texted each other, bro. What is going on? We see Mudeng around. It was right here about 130 million, and we was thinking, what? We bought this shit yesterday at 70 million. So I sprinted back home, and the dopamine was too crazy. But right now,
Yeah.
if we're gonna look for entry levels, so you see that you have some price action going on here. So this is some demand area where we can go to, but also right now we are farming such some sort of an accumulation potentially, but there's not a good way to confirm it because these are candles down. But if you want to allocate yourself to Mudeng, this is a place where you could start scaling in like uh 20%, nah, 30%. If we go here, you scale in another 30%. And then if we do this, we don't FOMO in right here. Then you just only have the 30% scaled in. Wait, let me. Wyckoff, we spent 2 days studying this coin, bro. We were in calls discussing, and then a day after that we entered, it just full sense. So it's amazing, guys. That's why it is so important to do your own research. Like we were buying this right here, and we had fully conviction that this would go up. Of course, we are a little bit lucky that the day after you get a Binance listing, but it was
It's
already
not
in the
even
charts.
lucky. It's not even lucky, it's just
Bro,
you
yeah.
were there when you needed to be there, right? It's
My,
like
yeah.
you did the studying for fucking 2 days, right? You saw the accumulation model. It's like you created your own luck in this scenario. You were there. So it's like it was you saw the potential, you execute it, and boom, look where we are right now. Now people are starting to pay attention. Now people want to know more. But when you were posting about the accumulation model, it was still a bit not sure. And the
Yeah, you
funny
see
thing
it.
is that you got the Binance listing, right? You got the Binance listing, but like I just said, a coin is not randomly gonna go up. You need to accumulate if you want to just go up, right? And market makers move the market. Market makers were probably well positioned to move the market up prior to the Binance listing, which they just used as extra hype. And you literally see it on the chart right here. You literally have a Model 2 accumulation schematic, a TCT Model 2 accumulation schematic. Not just that, it's a TWT schematic. It's a high probability TCT schematic regarding range inefficiencies and liquidity. And the people that are in the Discord, they know. But and you even have a reaccumulation schematic on the
This
retest. Like, come
this
on
is
now.
where Donnie and me entered. Like we skilled some in here, and then we were skating in, bro, and it pumps like, bro. This was too crazy. But then, guys, this is that you see, luck is what happens when hard work meets opportunity. So we were studying.
So, wait. Let's repeat it. Say that one more time because people didn't
Okay,
understand.
luck is what happens if hard work meets opportunity. So we were charting this for days. We were going into Twitter, like 5 hours a day. And then we decide to buy in this whole area we were buying. Then you got the local TCT Model 1 schematic to confirm even more the accumulation. Yeah, you know the
Yo,
vibes. Do you like that
yo,
quote?
if I would have seen that chart, bro, I would have opened up a leverage long. It's not even funny. I was like, either this is a liquidation event with the listing, or it's a multi-million dollar position, bro.
That's great. Yeah, I think this thing can really go to billions because if you get like a full bull market, this is
Bro,
just the beginning.
like the thing is, right? These pumps, the one that we just had, in my opinion, that's a pump that just establishes the project, right? It just establishes the foundation of the project that like it's here to stay. You take the bet into the accumulation model that like, okay, I think we're going to pump from here. It's most likely that we're going to pump from here. The odds are in my favor, but nothing is 100%. And now with this pump and the attention and everything around it, it's like it's establishing itself and it's just finding the new base for the next leg up, right? But with how the chart is looking, it's absolutely disgusting.
Then, Lars, some people are asking for PZ. Are we gonna give that kind of juice on a public live stream? How, how, how are we feeling today? How are we feeling today?
It's pretty funny they're asking about Peasy when, bro, I had my call on Peasy was literally to the cent on a low cap. Think about that. Talking about the exact percentage that price is going to retrace on a micro cap that's like 10 million. Like, bro, like come on now.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
can
Can
I
you
can
can you go, you
let me
can
see.
go over it? We give
Yeah.
it today. We give it.
Just because it was an insane event. Let me open up this chart. Am I on the stage? Let me check.
No, not yet. Yes, right now.
Okay, so let's load this project. Now, guys, the whole reason, okay, the full reason why I invested in this project right around here is because of other legends. It was brought to my attention, even this project. But again, I just told you, someone can tell me that a project is good and has high conviction and high potential, I will still not buy it if the chart doesn't look good. That's just me. That's just who I am as a trader. And again, before you have this massive pump, which literally it was like a 10x, yeah, you can see it right here, like a 9x. What happened prior to pumping, guys? It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing where you can see right here on around the 12-hour to the daily time frame, you can see the range formation at the bottom, right? You can see the range formation at the bottom, and you can see your range low, and you can see that deviation one, and then you can see the higher low. And you know what's so beautiful, even, is that this accumulation model is barely on any volume. And a lot of people make the mistake into thinking that low volume is bad when trying to invest in the project, that you need high volume. Guys, you want to invest in the project when the volume is low. And then when you start to pump, volume will increase. That's just literally how it works. And that's mostly when you get your first signs of a rejection. So you can see the project was brought to my attention when we started to pump right here. I saw the accumulation model. I just saw the overall retracement that we've had, which is very intense. We were consolidating for, what is this, right from here, about 100 days. So it's like whenever you have a micro cap, right, that's truly going horizontally right here, like price stayed the same from this point until this point, which is 100 days. When you have a low cap like this, that's that has found its base, right? It's truly pretty impressive when you see a low cap finding its base with a nice looking accumulation, because it just means that that's where the whales are just drawing the line. That's where they're holding price up, right? They don't want price going lower. If price starts to consolidate here for literally 100 days, and they have just been adding, especially on this local accumulation. But I saw the accumulation, and that's literally why I invested, combined with just high conviction into PZ itself as a good looking project on base. What I just told you guys about, if bread starts to get attention, it will draw a lot of liquidity towards bread, which will later down the road flow over into other high conviction, high quality base projects. And PZ, in my opinion, is one of them. So we saw the accumulation. There was nothing but highs here. Even though there are not like leverage stop losses in here, you can still see it as just simply no resistance. So you have this high, that high, all just being higher highs, right? No good looking supply, which can just get swept in absolutely one go, which is literally what happened. Like that is simply what happened. We swept it in one go because there was no resistance here on the left. And look at what you're starting to see. The moment the volume starts to increase like crazy, that's when you start to get your first pullback, right? It's like, I don't know why people have it the other way around, but you buy when the volume is low and you're accumulating. And I'm not saying you should sell right here because I think this can go way higher, but you can expect a rejection when you're pumping and volume starts to increase. It's always the exact same story. Now, we pumped absolutely disgustingly hard. Like it's like if you go on the 5 minute, everything was a higher low. If you simply go on the 5 minute, this whole move up, it was just all a higher low. Yeah, like you can see it right here. This is like a 10x in price on the 5 minute, just higher lows right here. Boom. Never giving everyone an entry, was waiting for the bigger pullback. Now from there, right? From there, I saw the volume increase in the project. So I saw the volume increase, and then I saw the first signs of a potential distribution, right? Prices cannot just go up in the vertical line. You need to have a new range. You need to find your new base. And what I saw was your range high, and then you saw the deviation, and you also saw the lower high right here. And what I was seeing while this was forming this distribution, you saw volume decreasing, right? You saw volume decreasing right here. I drew it kind of like this. So I told everyone, hey, I'm expecting around a 30% pullback. And it was right around in this area. And then we got a 30% pullback to the exact T. I was kind of just aiming for this area, right? I still think we can potentially sweep that range low right here, but I was just aiming for this area as potential new buy orders for people that missed the initial move up. And I want you to pay attention to yet again volume, okay? Because volume is decreasing at the highs right here when they're actually distributing. Where do you see an increase in volume? Look at here. Right here, all of a sudden you see this massive increase in volume. But do you think a market maker is like a proper market maker, or proper will in this case, is actually aggressively selling to dump price lower in the lower section of the range? No, guys, they are distributing right here. They're not distributing right here. This is just a panic sell. And as you can see, that just gets absorbed immediately and price reverses. So you can see those high volume spikes. Someone asked me in the Discord, hey, how can you see like panic selling in the chart? Well, if you see high selling spikes coming into your range low, that's actually pretty bullish, because that's just people getting shaken out, right? And most of the time when people start to get shaken out, that's when you'll see price start to reverse back up. So yeah, I was talking about the distribution. This was an amazing entry opportunity to scale into the project if you are not invested already. And it's just a high conviction play for me on the base network. And this is kind of like my leverage bet on bread, right? I love the fact that it kind of has that, that Pepe narrative of like PZ's like the online character of Pepe. So it's kind of in that area, but then a project on base with just a good foundation, good holders, So we can see that slight volume spike right here. We can see volume increase, and now volume is decreasing again at the highest, kind of if you just ignore that panic sell wick right here. If you ignore that panic sell wick, you can just see volume decrease, which again, guys, volume is decreasing. What do you want to do when volume is decreasing and you're coming down? That's when you want to start scaling in again, and you can expect a rejection when price is starting to pump and volume starts to pick up again. It's such a vice versa process of what people initially think. Like, are they like, oh, it's low volume, so it's bad? No, you invest when you're accumulating and the volume is low, not when the volume is high. That's just, I think, a big misconception that a lot of people have But yeah, we're in this range right now. And I think this range will be eventually our new foundation. It will be our new base. The moment we break out, I do think this is like going to be major support for price to potentially backtest to continue higher. So, just investing in the discount section of this range is not a bad plan in my opinion. But it also depends on your skin in the game regarding PZ as well, right? If you are not invested at all, that first like in total was like a 40 to 60%. Yeah, it was a 50% pullback. So I'll always support people of like, if you have no skin in the game, that first 40 to 60% pullback is like key. You're always going to get a 40 to 60% pullback. That's when you start scaling in. And that's kind of when you use that 40 20 rule. Of like you scale in the first 40 on the first 40 to 60% pullback. Then you start to accumulate, and in the accumulation, you enter the other 40, and then on the breakout, you add the 20 and you just ride it up. Right? It's a more patient approach, which is better for a lot of people's psychology than people just buying the dip, because this is what they'll do. They just buy the dip that keeps on dipping. So you get the pullback, they buy. Lower high, they buy. Lower high, they buy. And then until they run out of money, and then you get a lower high, and now they're scared. Right here, they're scared, right? Because they've just
That's
been
where they
buying and
sell.
buying and buying, and they're slowly losing conviction. So if you just buy once on that 40 to 60% pullback, and then you wait for an accumulation, right? And you enter the other 40, and then on the breakout, you enter the other 20. Yeah, that's how you properly scale in to have the easiest, mental stress. Because a lot of people don't have conviction when prices are going down. I'm losing. Okay, there you go. I'm having trouble getting my ETH on Uniswap to base. If you want to send funds to base, me personally, I just send it to MetaMask and then I bridge it. That's what I do. But there are many different ways to do it.
And you can also like just put it on your centralized exchange and then send it to in base to your MetaMask. That's I'm having
What's
bro.
BTC doing? Oh, yeah. It's the same story, bro. But we left behind demand, which is pretty good. We left behind demand right here. So let's see what we're gonna do. I don't think we're gonna lose this demand. If you want to continue right now, you don't want to start losing that demand. That's when BTC is just being annoying again.
Yeah,
But we
BTC.
have been going for a while. We have been running it for an hour and 40 minutes. So
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
it's time to slowly wrap it up. We are rocking 1,300 viewers, which is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts, guys. For the people that don't know and who weren't here in the beginning of the stream, we have a fixed weekly schedule right now where we'll be going live multiple times a week. It's just in the Discord community. You can see it in the weekly schedule section, available to everyone. We'll be going live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so those are going to be the days that we're also going to go live in the evening regarding these public live streams to the public for everyone to see. And then obviously we're just going to continue the VIP live streams during London, pre-London, New York, and the educational classes and the meme coin nights hosted by Wyckoff Insider.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up here. I need to make some food. Need to do some other things as well. I appreciate everyone for watching, for being here, for interacting. Hopefully, you guys learned something. Stay patient. Wait for your confirmations. Study the mentorship that's on YouTube for free for you to watch. And hopefully, I see you guys in the Discord because that's where we're active on a daily basis. Any last words?
Guys, time to study. Get back to work.
We can finish it with a quote from Wyckoff Insider saying, guys, stop complaining from the results you did not get, from the work you did not put in. Peace out, guys.